Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. In today's story, OP reaches out to Reddit because she's extremely concerned about her husband's behavior with his work wife. She feels like the work wife is bullying him and the husband is playing around, and she's not sure if this was all in her head or if it is reality. Unfortunately, things do kind of explode in the update, so stay tuned for that. But like most of my stories, they do end on a happy note. So I do hope that you enjoy this story. If you do, please leave a thumbs up. And before we move on to the story, I just wanted to take a second and thank all of my subscribers. Thank you so much, you guys are so amazing. For those of you that don't know, I have a personal goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. So if you like my content and would like to support me, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and onto the story. I don't like the relationship between my husband and his work wife, and neither does her partner. So to start off with, English is not my first language. I just want to put it out there because I see how you people are brutal when grammar is bad. So I'm a beautician, a 35-year-old female who's married to an engineer, a 34-year-old male. He's very intelligent and I'm always proud of him. He has a colleague who's also very intelligent, a 31-year-old female, obviously that he is close to. Before the events that led me to this moment of seeking help online, I never had any reason to be uncomfortable about his relationship with her. I always felt secure in our relationship. We're both independent people who would just leave if we weren't happy together. We've been together for 5 years and married for 1.5. My husband and I were on a 3-day trip with my husband's colleague, a tradition at his work every autumn. We came home yesterday morning and I had a bad taste in my mouth after this trip. It felt like me and my colleague's partner, who's around 35 years old and a male, were the third and fourth wheel to my husband and his colleague during the entire trip. During dinner the second night, I was sitting silently playing with my food after almost 2 days of being ignored. The partner was also silent at first, but we started talking a bit, asking each other generic questions. The colleague, who was in a very loud argument with my husband, more of a back and forth teasing, suddenly turned around and asked what we two, the partner and I, were up to talking quietly. Her partner said that they were just getting to know each other since they, my husband and colleague, were too busy talking about things we knew nothing about. The colleague laughed and said, "What could we discuss with you? Makeup and Kim Kardashian?" And she nodded towards me. "We have more intelligent things to discuss." I was dumbfounded. I guess because I'm a beautician, I can only discuss Kim Kardashian. I mean, any outsider to any profession would be dumb listening into two people discussing work-related subjects. They could have been as ignorant if I was talking to my coworker about our job. My husband just laughed and the partner said, "That's rude." I said nothing because I had a distaste for the whole situation. On the last day of the trip, I spent most of my time with the partner. I ignored the other two. Yesterday evening, the partner DM'd me and wanted to talk about our significant others. He said that he's been feeling uncomfortable about his girlfriend's relationship with my husband and that he went through her messages. He sent me screens where my husband and his colleagues were basically calling me stupid and shallow and laughed about it. Well, mostly the colleagues saying mean things and my husband laughing and adding in. Sometimes he would say something like, "No, I love her," about me, and she would answer, "You only like banging hot dumb chicks," and they laugh. When the texts weren't about my stupidity, they're about work, and in one of them my husband wrote, "I love your brain," to her. I started crying when I saw the screenshots. Never have I felt so self-conscious about my brain or profession. I love my job and I thought my husband loved it too, or at least didn't have this disdain for it. I've been my own boss for over 10 years and I make closer to 6 figures. I never thought of myself as a dumb person. I like to think that I'm fairly well informed and I have passion for history, languages, culture, etc. But yes, I'm not an engineer working on some design for artificial hearts. Still, the text complimenting the colleague hurt me more than the ones making fun of me. I don't know why. I think that my husband and his colleagues are out of line at best, and well, probably screwing. I still don't know what to do. The last thing that I want to be is the insecure wife. If he isn't happy with me, why is he here? And then OP added, I wrote this post last night and fell asleep afterwards. This morning, I just went to work. Oh my god, guys, thank you so much for the support and the beautiful words. I will try to read all of the comments and messages. I just wanted to make this edit to explain why I haven't answered any of you. I'm sorry and thank you. I'll talk to my husband tonight or maybe tomorrow, and then I'll make an update about my situation. Sorry that I didn't come back earlier to make an update. I was mentally exhausted and of course busy discussing Kim K. Anyway, I want to apologize for not answering your messages because I got over 200 asking for updates. I really hope that you can find this. I've talked to my husband. I just told him that I talked to the work wife's boyfriend and showed him the messages I was sent. My husband asked me why her boyfriend was spying on his girlfriend, and I told him that it was because he didn't like the way things went down on the trip. I told him that I too was very uncomfortable. He was very confused and told me that the work wife was obviously jealous and that I shouldn't care about her. I told him that she didn't bother me as much as the fact that he was fine. No, amused by her attempts to bring me down the entire time. So much in fact that her boyfriend was so uncomfortable that he went through her phone. I also asked him why he was letting her trash talk me in their text. Again, he insisted that he felt that she was petty and jealous and didn't want to stoop to her level. He said that I did the same when I ignored her rudeness, and he thought that was a very classy thing to do. I asked him why he was doing this. Was there anything between them? And to please tell me now before it got more complicated. He said that of course not, and that if there was something from her end, then that wasn't his problem because he loved me and so on and so forth. I asked him about him quote-unquote loving her brain, and he said that it was strictly about something work-related and offered to show me the conversation. The next day, I was still brooding, so he came to me, kissed me, and apologized, and told me that I was right and that he was being stupid, but that he never thought about it as disrespect, but some female jealousy that he thought was pitiful and beneath him. He promised to do better. I told him that if somebody was trashing you like this in front of me, no matter how petty their reason were or how pathetic I thought they were, I would have hated them and never wanted them in my life. Unfortunately, I did start crying then, and he told me that he was sorry. This was on Sunday. Yesterday, the boyfriend called me again and we talked. We had previously decided to talk after confronting our significant others. Their conversation was worse, and work wife admitted to her boyfriend that she had feelings for my husband, and she suspected that my husband had feelings for her too. They have kissed at a summer work party. I showed my husband the screenshot when he got home. He started to freak out, telling me that yes, she did kiss him, and he rebuffed her and told her that he wasn't interested. This was when she got nastier towards me. So you knew she had a thing for you? And he said yes. I asked him to show me his phone and he had deleted his conversation with her. He said that it was because he was embarrassed. He didn't tell me when the kiss happened and now he was afraid that I would think it was more than it was. I asked him to move out and he's currently at his mother's. He keeps saying that there's nothing between them, that he loves me and would never cheat on me, that he will make her come clean to me, that he will quit his job and never see her again. I'm just so brokenhearted right now and all I want to do is cry. Thank you all for listening, I really needed this. And then they added, maybe I should have mentioned that he also told me that he could prove that it was she who came onto him, because it happened in the office cafeteria and there are surveillance cameras, and that he could request the clip from that day. I don't know why I didn't include it. Maybe because who kissed who didn't really change how I feel about this whole ordeal. Hi all, I did not feel comfortable making a new update on the True Sub because honestly I'm embarrassed that I'm taking so much of your attention. Writing, however, has helped me a lot. It's almost like therapy. So my husband showed up at my work today. He said that he has never felt so scared in his life like when he realized that he was losing me. He has contacted the boyfriend, apologized to him and asked him to forward all of the texts between him and work wife. He printed them and gave them to me. over a year's worth of texting. He told me that when work wife confessed to her boyfriend, she sent the text about admitting the kiss to her boyfriend, the text that I got a screenshot of. My husband panicked and deleted the whole conversation, but now he got everything from the boyfriend and I could read it. He also has bought a picture with him, of him when he was young, around 12 to 13ish with a girl. He said that he searched for this picture now that he's living with his mom. He told me that it was his favorite cousin and she passed away when they were 16. She was extremely bullied. I've never heard my husband talk about this cousin. I do know of her death from his family, but never that they were close or that her death devastated him. He said that he still wasn't ready to discuss her, but that now he needed to. He admitted that when work wife started working from them back in August of 2021, he immediately bonded with her because she reminded him of his cousin, both goofy, funny, and extremely intelligent. They even looked alike a little bit, which is kind of true. The bond then got stronger when work wife told him about her tough childhood and how she was bullied throughout school, how she suffered and contemplated stuff. My husband said that he felt like he got his cousin back. Work wife knew that my husband was married, newlywed actually, and it didn't seem to be a problem for her in the beginning. He admitted that he had sensed that she was falling from him very soon, but that he never really confronted her about it because he didn't want to hurt her feelings. When she saw me in a picture, she got very angry with him and said that she was very disappointed in him. I looked like the type that would bully people like her and my husband in high school. She was disappointed and asked him what he saw in me. He told her that he loved me, but she was sour afterwards, accusing him of being shallow. He asked her to give me a chance at the Christmas party. She didn't change her opinion, however. He wasn't bothered that she disliked me because he thought that she was jealous. He knew that she was decided on not giving me a chance, and that was fine with him. He thought that this will be one of the things that they will have to disagree on. He's still adamant that he never kissed her back, and he's adamant about getting the recording of that party. He said he pushed her, and after the party he had a fight with her about boundaries and confronted her about her feelings. He told her that they could no longer be friends now and that she had crossed the line. We went on a 5-week vacation the day after the party, and he said that if I read the text from that time, I would find out that she had apologized several times, asking for forgiveness, begging him not to ditch her as a friend. After summer, their relationship was strained, but they eventually became closer again. He said that he didn't know why he felt like she needed him in her life, like she needed his protection. He always thought about being put in harm's way, and he couldn't stand the thought. He swore that it was never romantic or sexual. He admitted that he loved her like a friend, or like if his cousin was still around. He told me that he has handed in his resignation and will be seeking new jobs. He's realized that he has to let his work wife go. He admitted that even now he's worried about her. She's losing both her boyfriend and him, but he needs to remind himself that she's a grown-up woman and not his 16-year-old cousin. She'll be fine. And about my fears that he loves me for how I look, he said that he's sorry if he ever made me feel that way, and that it is far from the truth. When he thinks about us, he sees us growing old together, and that prospect still fills his heart with more joy and love. And then Opie added in a comment, "I saw the recording too. He does back off and he looked angry and left, and she ran after him. He said that he wanted to apologize." So guys, what did you think about this? Please let me know in the comments down below. I know that I said that it ends on a happy note, and I am happy for OP if she's comfortable in her situation, but oh my god, I did not like her husband's response. First of all, let's acknowledge the fact that he was pretty much okay with his colleague bullying OP. Like, I do understand that pretty privilege is a thing, but bullying someone is not okay under any circumstances. Also, it leaves a horribly bitter taste in my mouth that OP pretty much lied by omission. Like, when the first boundary was crossed, he should have sat down and he should have had a discussion with OP, and they should have moved forward together. If OP was comfortable with him being friends with his quote-unquote work wife, then that's another story, but I doubt that she would have been okay after the work wife tried to kiss him. Also, laughing when the work wife is making fun of your partner is not okay under any circumstances. I personally think that OP's husband liked the attention and that he was playing along with it because he just enjoyed the attention. But when he realized that OP might actually be leaving him, I think that's when he freaked out and that's when he decided to do everything. I mean, I do understand that if OP and her husband wants to sit down and work on their marriage, but I do think that they need to fix this communication issue that's happening. I think that OP's husband needs to set boundaries, clear-cut boundaries in the future, and I do think that couples counseling will go a long way for them. Anyways, I do wish them the best. What did you guys think about this? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you did like the story, or at least my telling of it, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.